Well, you're probably looking at my screen saying, wow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to understand all of this. It's a lot of data. Looks complicated. But you know what? It's actually not. It's really simple. Hopefully I can help to explain it over the next couple videos. We're going to act as if we're starting from scratch, starting with a brand new account. Now, just note that I am sort of jumping around and filming these videos as we come out with new features. We'll come out with a new video to explain that feature since we're always improving. So just keep that in mind. But as we get started, we're going to start on the Tools page. And we're going to start with questions. Now in your widget, which is basically a process, right? We are going to ask the customer a couple questions. Those questions are going to be used to calculate the final cost that's given to the customer as their estimate. So the questions page works very closely with the drivers page. We'll get to that in the next video. But if you click on View Questions here, and on Active Questions, you'll see that your account comes preset with a couple here. How many pets do you have? How many people live in your home? And the like. Now you'll notice after the questions they have types. Number, radio, drop down, and then there's checkbox down here. So you're probably thinking, what are those types? Well, a number text box is something that looks like this up here, where you have the little label, and when you click on it, the label floats up to the top, and you're allowed to type in that box. Now on the widget, this box is actually it forces the user to type in a number. So if they type in the letter K, it just doesn't work. Right? Now obviously this is a description field where we want letters, and so it doesn't do that right here. But you can try this on your widget. You should already have one set up and ready to go. We're just editing it here. But if you'd like to check that out, you can watch the rest of the videos and you'll see how to get to your widget. But that's a number question. A radio question and a drop-down question, they're very similar. They give several choices, and the user gets to pick one of them. They have to pick one. They can't pick 0. They can't pick 2. Just one. A drop-down looks like this. Right, and a radio gives them those options spread out on the screen. Now a checkbox question is one that actually gives multiple options again. However, they're allowed to pick as many as they'd like. They can pick 0, or they can pick 30 options depending on how many you have listed there. So that's good for questions like, please check any additional services that you'd like. We give them all these options: oven cleaning, refrigerator cleaning, window washing, packing, unpacking, and so on. We give them a lot of options here. They can pick as many as they'd like. And for each one, we get to decide exactly what that does to the cost, the total cost. So I just have it preset here to add $30 for every type. But we can actually go in and edit that with the edit button here. But instead of editing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these. We'll say, how cluttered is your house? We're going to make a note of the possible answers, and we're actually going to delete this and recreate it. So note that the options are very cluttered, we add 30%. Just cluttered, we'll add 15%. Average, we add 5%. Tidy, we just leave it the same, so that's adding 0%. And very tidy, we actually add -5%. That sounds complicated, but basically we're giving them a 5% discount if their home is very tidy. So I'm going to delete this, and we're going to start over with that question. Yes, I want to delete. So we're back at the New Questions tab here. And we're going to type, how cluttered is your house? Question mark. We want to set the type of question to drop down. So that seems most reasonable for this particular question. We want to type in a description. This is mainly for our benefit as the company. So just keep that in mind. However, it may be shown to the user. So we'll say here, this question adds 30, 15, 5, 0, or -5% to the total cost depending on how tidy or cluttered the customer's home is. So this doesn't show up on the widget, but in future updates we may have that as an option, so just keep that in mind. This shouldn't have confidential information in the description here, just something that describes the question. So, new possible answer. Down here we're going to add in all of our answers. So what do we want our answers to be? Well, we want to start with very cluttered. I press enter and it takes me down to there. Now notice we have this unconfirmed answers box. As we can go in and keep creating these unconfirmed or possible answers, and they'll just fill up this drop down here. And then one by one we can add a driver to those answers. I just like to do them one at a time. It's my personal preference. So for very cluttered, we want to add 30 in this box. Percent, you can choose dollars or minutes. You'll see in the drivers page in the next video, you'll actually get to set payroll, like an hourly rate. And so this minutes can come in handy if that's how you prefer to charge. But we're going to add percent. And we're going to say added to the total. Now in some scenarios, this added to the total may actually be something else, and we may add to that drop down in the future, so just be mindful of what's here. You might have a couple other options, but we're going to stick with that. Very cluttered, it'll add 30% to the total. So now that you've seen the process, I'm just going to go through the rest of these. I add 15% for cluttered, average gets 5%, tidy gets 0%, and very tidy gets negative 5%. Now you see how fast that can go once you've learned how to use it. It's very simple. We're just going to create new question. Down to our view questions section. There it is. How cluttered is your house? There's the description that we set and the possible answers. Now like I said, you can always click edit here and it'll let you go in and edit. You can rearrange these, right? However, it kind of makes sense in this order, so we won't do that. You can delete the answers and re-add them if you'd like to change the drivers or something like that. You just want to click update question there at the bottom.